Welcome. This is part 4 of the Naruto Ultimate Harem Marmalade party reading. Listener discretion is advised. Extremely advised. Day 6. Naruto woke up with Shizune in his arms and fielded deep for her. Even if she was nosy sometimes, he did no move and just enjoy holding her, breathe her in. And then Eureka opened tent flap and called, "Naruto." Yeah. I received a message, Dove, from the Neshiko village place. It said it was for urgent. Give me just a second. Eureka nodded and leaves the tent flap alone to be of the leavings. Go get him, Shizune said, and gave Naruto deep, lovey kids. She slapped Naruto on the funny, and he say, "Hey," and made fake frowny face and left for the outside. Izuribi was immediately on sucking it like mad. "The first smell, I had to do something about it," Eureka yelled. "You try sharing it in with her." Eureka coughed, and extended her hand to Naruto. "But the pigeon mail is real. I got it a few minutes ago." Naruto took it and unrolled a small paper. "I have learned of the game as the jutsu was broadcast to all nations, and the local medic placed a claiming jutsu on me as well. But you see, there is still my problem of having a suitable husband, and none who would claim he had the talent. But I know of your efforts in the war, and if anyone could hope to defeat Toby, I perceive it as you. So I traveled to Konoha with this offer of myself to join with you. I should arrive within the day you receive this. Signed, Shizuka? Shizuka, that sounds... from the Neshiko village. Her with the marriage prophecy again. Gah. Naruto shivered. Izuribi stopped him. "Oh man, this girl's no joke. I'll have to fight her again." Naruto shook his head and skeeted to Eureka. "Well, I'm gonna head down to get some more supplies. We're getting low already." "Could I fly you down there?" "Well, you guys don't tell the other girls this, but I kinda need to rest while passing the flying right now." "No, it's alright. Shizune mentioned you would need some break time. I'll let you know if Shizuka gets here before your turn." "Cool, thanks. See ya!" So Naruto hopped over the crown wall on the head and ran down on being rocky for the monument. In moments he came to the village. Again, there was a long line at the nigger tool store, the racks of weapons looking empty and emptier. A guy with an afro went away with loads of stuff, and Naruto wanted to take some of the cool-looking weapons he had. But surprisingly, there was still enough, so Naruto picked some up and threw down a handful of ryo and change. Next up was the food market, and he made several clones before heading in. Veggies, bread, bits of meat, seaweed-flavored cereal, along with menstruation-flavored protein shakes for himself. Next he was stopped by other supply shops for the camping gear, tents, fire starters, and then he went to the homie store to buy more blankets and pillows and picture frames for Tintin's photoshopped pics. Naruto wanted to forget the one of Guy-sensei and Neji, but he couldn't. Think of Sakura helped though, so he thought of her as he went to the library for some ninjutsu books. He wanted to learn more jutsu with his harem, maybe learn some of space-time like was for being two of the Toby potentially could. On the way out, he bumped into Kakashi again, who also had lots of bags again. "Oh, hi, Sensei. Good morning." "Morning, Naruto. I see you're going to be busy." "Well, today's a big day. I got some new members for my team, and I got a letter saying another girl's coming today." "The more the merrier," Kakashi said. "I could say same of you. I bet I know how you keep those pussies from meowing. You stuff their mouths with..." "I'm not desperate as Kiba, Naruto. I'll just say Icha has taught me been useful." "You'd have to be half feeling to do some of that stuff." "And that's where the transformation jutsu comes in handy. In any case, I think the time's coming." "What do you mean, the time?" "Oh, you don't know? Me and you are tied for first year in Konoha. Once Killer Bee landed the Mizukage, he dropped out, so we don't have to worry of him anymore. But it can't be. Oh, you've got Yakumo and Sasume, so don't worry too much. Later. Kakashi smiled and walked off to wherever. Naruto shook his head with fervent disbelievings and began to walk back to base on the Hokage's head. The shopping trip took a lot longer than he thought, and it was past breakfast time. Surprisingly, the girls were all doing Sage Mode training, sitting in a big circle around the fire pit. Kumbaya, my Kage. Kumbaya. I don't even want to know what I'm interrupting, so I'll just snatch Yakumo and split. The girls' eyes fly open as they hear Naruto's keyboard impression, and Yakumo made us cannily face at him for a moment. So he wants to help make a storage rock for this. Tintin got up, and Risa and Hinata came over to help put it away. Think you could help us with Sage Mode training after we get all this tiny done? Oh, sure, of course, Risa. There's some stuff I wanted to teach you all anyways. Did I just hear Naruto say teach? Amy asked with teasings. Yeah, you heard me. I taught people stuff about ninjutsu before. The girls giggled, and Naruto made a scowly face as he put away the stuffs. But it was short time, and after Tintin made another sword rock, Naruto was almost smiling again. Then he joined the circle between Goro and Tintin, and explicated on the absorbing of nature energy and the blending of it. It was of boring things he said from memory, but he could feel the learnings at work with him. It was of being good. But even after a refreshing bit of relaxating focus with Sage Mode, it was being of the foil in the lick lunch time. He was eatifying his double chocolate infinite energy bars and his protein shakes. Shizune walked over to sit beside him. Naruto, she said, I would like to stay behind if you take the girls out. I feel I'm close to getting the hang of Sage Mode and just need a little more practice. What? Sage Mode already? I know, but if you really need the time, okay, said Naruto with skepticism. Naruto, being with Tsunade, I had to worry about things that got bad for her, how hard I do, and all the remindings I do here. I just dreamed to myself that if Tsunade can't be there, I could step up and be Kage in her place. It's silly, I know, but I think I'm almost there now, Shizune compostulated. Well, I believe in you. This time Naruto was for ruffled Shizune's hair and smiled at her. And then she snatched his chocolate bar from him and skipped away. Hey! Goro and Hana came over with Tintin. Are we gonna go for chase afternoon? Goro asked. Nah, I was planning on just chilling for a few days and training with you. We have a lot to work on with so many of us. If only the academy teachers could see you now. Tintin smiled. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, don't worry about it. So, what do you have planned? Well, I saw this book at the library called The Practical Shinobi about applying basic ninjutsu in tons of creative ways, so I thought we could work on some stuff from that. This'll be something, Goro said with small excitings. Training with Naruto. I've been a Geni for a while, so maybe this'll be the year. I wouldn't worry about being a Geni. I'm one too, Naruto said with chucklings, which Goro could not believe. The girl shook her head with grinnings and gave Naruto a kiss. Again she was strong with her holdings, beginning to remind Naruto of Tsunade. Then Tintin started to stroke his hair and kiss his neck, and Hana's fingers once again found their way to his anus. The sudden semen gave Naruto a big, achy shape that felt hot against Goro's stomach. After a moment, Goro kinda slid to the sideways, and Tintin wiggled on a bit, and they both started to kiss on his cheeks and chin. And while Hana once again had access to Naruto's crotchular area, she took advantage of this by suckling on the teat of Naruto's love milk, an eager puppy hungry to be fed. She tickled his breast like a kite playing with a yarn. And then they were joined by Amy and Samui and Hinata, the sexiness spreading as the girls kissed each other a bit as they got closer to Naruto, who honestly didn't know where up was. They writhed like a sea of boiling love juice, and Naruto was as a hooker, caressed and blown by the wavy weather. Suddenly, Naruto felt two mouths on his shape and seed Risa's face and wavy brown hair over his before she kissed. Naruto felt Goro gripping on his buttock left, and then there were even more mouths and tongues all over him, sexing him lustily. Naruto felt like he was in a sleeping bag of happy puppies. And then one of the girls put her shape in her vagina, and he couldn't tell who, with all the groaning and with Risa's hair over his eyes as she pretty much trying to eat his face. Sexually. Tokiwa looked down over the scene of the embarrassed. Do I even want to know when I'm interrupting? They all was shocked and began to separate. Naruto was spun right side to head up, and Shizune got off his shape.
Oh, so you must be the shinobi who was coming today. Forgive us for not being ready.
Forgiven. The whole village was like this, almost, just less. She turned to Naruto. Milady Shizuka is not far behind. Should I confirm you are here to her? Tokiwa asked with smooth noticings.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Tokiwa nodded and left, and Naruto flashed over to his tent to clean up, and the girls blushed and looked at each other and did the same. And just as Naruto re-emerged from his tent, Tokiwa came. Back over the wall was Shizuka.
Naruto, we finally meet again?
Shizuka said. She smiled and walked over and gave Naruto a warm hug.
I've come today to make a formal request to join with you and your group. So I don't have to fight you? No, from what I've heard, you are far stronger than I could hope to be. And you weren't bad last time we met, either. Ah, thanks. But I still want to be kind of traditional, even though there are lots of you. Would you do a ceremony with me?
Asked Shizuka, who removed her hooded robe, wearing her grey-black kunoichi uniform under it.
Ceremony? You mean like married?
There's a practical side to it, Tokiwa cut in with quick noticings. It bonds the two by chakra, mingling it, and thus the pair can be of greater aid to each other in battle.
Oh.
Naruto became quiet for a minute, with hard thinkings.
Well, I guess that would be okay. It won't hurt, will it?
On the contrary, Tokiwa said, I experienced the most blissful and forceful orgasm of my life when I was bonded with my husband. Naruto made a short, squeaky face and mumbled sounds fun. But Tokiwa heard him and continued. It indeed was. My Taurus ached with pleasure for most of a week afterwards.
Yeah, fine, let's hurry up and do it.
Tokiwa's story was to make Naruto of the embarrassed, because she was a tall woman with angry, exotic, strong beautifulness that Naruto now decided was good or just looked like a man. Excellent, but as I will be performing the jutsu, we will need a witness, so I could prepare while you retrieve one. Naruto nodded and turned to pick one of the girls.
Well, they're mostly of my age. And, yeah, no. Wait, Shizune!
Naruto went to Shizune's tent and asked of her to be witness. She seemed of interested and so came, with Naruto to be a witness. Naruto saw it at a jutsu circle of the ground, and Shizuka was of being naked, and sat it in. There were lots of pattern lines, being of a spiral through the circle like of a windmill. Naruto sat down like he guessed he should, facing Shizuka. She had a slim shape, but of curves like hinata, milky and as creamy and pale as the milk of a virgin heifer was her skin like. Her hair was down, long and smooth running over her curls, and her eyes were green as the leaves of a silent forest. You're getting an erection. Good, Tokiwa said. She then explicated of the jutsu circle. This is in place to help gather the natural energy for the bonding and facilitate the mingling of chakra. Now both of you to your knees. Naruto, penetrate her vulva. Naruto gulped and put his hips forward, and Shizuka spread open her pussy for Naruto to angle him in his throbby shape. There was no trouble to this, it felt good. Not that far! Some of the shaft must be visible, please. Naruto felt his cheeks burn, and he backed up a little. Better. Oh, and this will also require mucosal contact. She looked at Naruto. A deep kiss with tongue. He made "oh" face, and Shizuka leaned forward for the big kiss, and Naruto gave it to her. I'll begin the jutsu right now. So then Tokiwa made some hand signs and did a chanting in a low voice. Naruto started to feel of nature energy coming into circle and entering them. It was of like low hum in emergency. Now in the jutsu times he was of contact but not oneness. And now you may break the kiss for a moment. Then before Naruto knew, Tokiwa had a kunai and cut him. Then she cut Shizuka too, and took blood from their arms and got it on her hand on Mixie. Then she wiped the blood on Naruto's shape and in on Shizuka's pussy. Immediately there was a war down in their crotchula area. Now to complete the jutsu, Tokiwa put her hand on Naruto's shape and chanted some more. And Naruto and Shizuka began to grow, feeling the orgy heat of the jutsu grow. There was begin of anime glowing for light from the jutsu circle, orange and blue like their chakra was afire. Then Tokiwa finished chanting and stepped out of the jutsu circle. Thrust up into her vagina, Naruto! Naruto did so, and the orgy heat spread to all of them. And Shizuka gorned more and louder, and he sees she feels this too. He held her by waist and keep his thrust hard, gripping mightily. Then it happened. The orgy heat exploded within him, a big continuous blast of orginess that made him throw up in Shizuka, and her girly muscles squeezed him like a bit of a newborn heart as they both moaned and yelled. It was a big anime pillar of light shot up as for the yelling, and chakra firelight got big too. Bits of rock started to float up, and an epic choir of 10 beast anuses sang a holy tune of redemption. Light shot in beam from being of Naruto and Shizuka's eyes and mouths, and they left off the ground, floating up in Y shape, spiraling and leaving behind sparkles of blue orangey lightness. The tailed beast choir hit a high note, and then they floated back down, and the jutsu was over, the circle mark gone. They leaned back, pointing like virgin prison bitches. Naruto looks across and see his love juice dribble from Shizuka's pussy, and sweat droplets formed on her breastises, and he was still a bit throbby. He closed his eyes and rest head, and gets small glimpse of Tokiwa carrying Shizuka in arms off to a tent. You then hear footsteps and see out Tokiwa again, and she was of naked. Oh boy. She had a strong shape of muscles, but also of curvy and a big shape, almost of Tsunade size. By the servant's code, I follow into any pact my master does, so I shall join your group as well. She dropped and lounged back on elbows, spreading her pussy wide for him. She made the come here thing with her finger, and she pulled Naruto to her after he came, with the secret woman grip, and whispered in his ear, "Bang me senseless."
But don't you have a husband?
Men know their place in the Dashiko village. Now mount me. Naruto looked down at her on his way to his shape, and saw that her left nipple was of A shape and no circle around it, unlike her right, and that she had lots of hair. He hesitated to do it, but he put his shape there and began to sex her hard, like Osamui he did. It was only a moment before the mark claimed flash on her, but Tokiwa kept Naruto in with legs, using her deft girly muscles to give Naruto a hard sexing too. Naruto began to feel the sex fury, and wanted to put his mouth on some things. So as he was already fucking it, he say, "Here I come," and began to suck on Tokiwa's not so pretty left nipple. Then he suddenly throbbed again, the orginess catching him low, making of a shudder, which make him be of like Tokiwa's nipple, which makes her pussy and girly muscles throb, and she made of loud mana, while Naruto grunted. As Naruto leaned back, he imagined Tokiwa's face with his shape all the way in it, and then he decided she was of exotic, strong beauty and not like man.
Fuck,
Naruto say. Anytime you want, Tokiwa. Yuki will reply. But probably when you not wanted to, she whispered herself. When Naruto woke Pooh after his nap, he stayed at Risa and Shizune Seizain beside his sheets.
How long was I out? It's almost time for dinner, Risa say. No, stay down. I'll just bring it in. Back in a minute.
As she left, Shizune gave a shy noticing cough.
Tonight, I wanted to give you an assault with these Gorgon muscles. On, cuddle. Among other things.
Naruto liked Shizune, being close with him and feeling her. But then he remembered Risa's epic hard kiss before Shizuka came.
Could Risa stay too?
As long as I get you first. So Naruto nodded and relaxed his eyes.